take charge of your life, it means you really live on your own terms. You are an independent thinker and use it as a tool for training my focus. Change and then balance. Change and balance. Look how Angel is staying here in a pure balanced state. Unite the power of each and every one into one direction, and that's how powerful we become. Hello, beautiful souls. I welcome you all in this session today, and I would like to talk about how to take charge in this life for yourself and live on your own terms. Show me even one person in this life who doesn't want to do it. It is so amazing actually to live on your own terms each and every day, wake up with this determination and that self-power, knowing what you want to do in this life, what you want to do in each and every hour of yours, every second, just knowing what you want to do. Alright, so here in this beautiful session, I would like to, first of all, give you a bit of understanding of what does it mean to take charge of your life, and then how can we use our amazing deck, right? Our tarot deck. This is a tool of this creation which we can use to strengthen that so-called encrypted code within ourselves so that we would be able to actually do it, but not really just listen to it here and there and okay, I listen to it, I understand it mentally, but do I really live it with all of my being? Do I really live it with my heart or with my essence? Okay, let's start it. So first of all, to take charge of your life, it means you really live on your own terms. You are an independent thinker. And guess what? In this world where today actually there are many things so-called predetermined for us and pre-designed for us, only those will rise who are capable to take the charge of their lives, who are capable to see clearly through all the dust of all the nonsense which is being thrown at us here and there. So in order to do it, we want to use this power of our focus. So we want to be extremely focused onto a certain thing, all right? We want to speak it in the correct way. We want to say it in the correct way. So enhance our power of focus with speaking, and then we want to enhance it even more with doing specific thing, again in the same direction. So focus, speaking, and then doing. So ajna, right? And then we go to our throat chakra, and then to solar plexus chakra, and then we unite the power of each and every one into one direction, and that's how powerful we become. Okay, let's get started. So here in this session, I suggest to enter determination, and determination is expressed in the tarot set by Chariot. We right now will go through focusing onto these cards. That's exercise number one. Why I love really tarot cards? Because they allow me to study, let's say, the specific card codes of which I want to encrypt into my life and use it as a tool for training my focus. That's why I actually created that deck, the 3-Devia Tarot deck, which is really rich in symbolism, really rich in symbolic representation. It is really good for beginners and for aspiring users of tarot. It is a really amazing tool for training the power of your focus, for starting noticing symbolism around you, for training your attention, for developing your ajna chakra, third eye chakra. Okay, so we want to see the world clearly. For that thing, we must train actually our attention. Okay, so if you want to develop that determination within you and really thoroughly establish into your life, you want to take this card and use a specific tool here, which is called studying the card. You study the card as much as you possibly can. You don't go, first of all, and read the explanation in the book. I know that you may all have your books in case if you are aspiring tarot readers and maybe you memorized it all already, but what I recommend here doing is specifically in these exercises just to study the card itself and try to read it, try to tell the story of what is written in the card through the symbolic representation of the card itself. Now let's try it together. So as you all know, probably if you are an experienced tarot reader, you know that the Chariot represents that powerful action and determination. Nothing can stop you in this world. Okay, this is the main keywords of this card actually, and the main key phrases. However, I want to invite you to start really looking thoroughly into the card and notice what you are noticing right now when you are looking into this card through the lens of that code determination. You want to establish that code determination into you right now. So let's have a look at it together. We see this powerful chariot here, a determined man, and we see also two sphinxes, all right? Now let's observe. So those sphinxes already represent this power and stability. We can see it. So he's actually quite determined. He is very stable. We can see that in his looks, in his eyes. Now what we can see is these 7 stars. For me, what it represents immediately is that he's quite active all 7 days a week. He's quite alert and active all 7 days a week. He's willing to do the necessary, right, to achieve his goals and his ambitions, to make them happen. Now, what else can we see? We see those planets around his head. It means how active his thoughts are actually. He's thinking all the time. He is into this continuous way of creation. He's kind of thinking, but not thinking at the same time, because how planets are moving, they are just in continuous equilibrium. That's how easily they are moving. So they are doing the action, but at the same time they are not doing. Is there specific efforts there? We don't see efforts. It is kind of like set up that way and the necessary is done, and that's what I see in this card. Now we see the powerful Manipura chakra. So we see actually united with the heart together. So he is acting together with the heart and with the solar plexus. That's how powerful he is. He's augmenting his solar plexus with his heart. It's literally united together. It just shows me that he's in full ownership of all his emotions. He also has arrows and a bow into his hands. It means he is in full alertness. He can really achieve his goals in any moment. Nothing can stop him. Now, the tails of these sphinxes are united, as you can see. It again shows me that union of his creation, the union of his single focusedness. He just knows what he's after and what he's willing to do. What a powerful determination establishment card. Now, you can continue watching and examining this card. And guess what's happening? Magic happens here because your focus goes to these specific art, right? So here we can see art, and that continuous focus onto figuring out the symbolism around this concept of determination. Guess what it is doing with your brain, guys? Guess what it is doing with it? You start wiring new neural pathways into your brain because you are focused on that. And then I would add writing into your personal journal, or if you are into the tarot world, into your tarot journal, writing down all the thoughts about this. And then the next step, what you can do is put down the affirmation, the righteous affirmation which comes to you when you look at this card. It can be as simple as I am determined. I am pure determination. If you feel blank, let's say, you can go to our book here, and here I designed it in such a way that when you open that specific card, which is the Chariot, let's have a look at it together. Chariot. So here we can see the affirmation for that specific card. Okay, and let's read it together. I have a strong willpower and enough strength, determination to manifest my dream life. Okay, so if you experience, let's say, difficulties in writing down your particular affirmation, just look at your book and you can find that specific affirmation there. And I would really recommend writing it down before you go to sleep, because you start that self-programming, powerful practice within yourself. Okay, that's how you unite focus, speaking, and willpower together. Now you can back it up with a temperance. Temperance, it's It's a card of balance. So whenever you start moving fast into your life, you want to make sure you are moving in balance. So remember, first balance, then create, okay? Otherwise, if you are in a disbalanced state, not possible. So always, if you feel that you need some level of so-called safety backup, please add Temperance, study it on top of this card. And one more card, but it's already for those brave ones, I would recommend Death. Now, many would say, what are you talking about? Death is a card of change. We invite changers into our lives. When we are ready for change, let's say, we are very clear that the changers may open up to us new doors in lives, okay? So we are ready to explore new heavens here, and we are ready to go a bit beyond the known limits. So this card, which also represents timing aspect, it is for those courageous ones who want to go beyond the unknown set of limits, and you can contemplate it together with these two. But just because you backed it up with Temperance, right, you are okay to use Death as well, because whenever you use a Death, you always want to back it up with something just to keep that level of stability and safety, something in the stability realm, right? So we want to invite changers in the most benevolent way for us. So just because we are all wired here for some level of unsafety, things are happening around, wars, whatever, every time here. So we want to back this card of Death with card of stability, inviting changers, but at the same time in those so-called benevolent way for us. So it is stable and change, stable and change. If you would notice the major arcana set, just you would lay it down from full to the completion cycle to the world, you will notice that actually this whole royal pathway, as you all know, tarot, it's a royal pathway. Tar, it's path, ro, it's kin, a royal pathway. It's one of the interpretations of tarot. So this royal pathway of all our archetypes, which we change during life, it is literally happening through some change and then balance, change and balance. Let's say in the very beginning, full change. Oh, then we go slightly to balance to Hierophant, right? We study rules, establishment, education system. Then again, we go to these other cards from love and Chariot and whatever, and we finish the card of Justice. So justice, more balance. So we see the lady who is sitting there with her balance in a very balanced state. So everything is just. We come from this card of Wheel of Fortune to the card of Justice, right? And then we start moving from this change set of cards when Handman, change of perspective, we invite changers, then the Death, and then Temperance, which is pure balance, right? So this is exactly the card which I was showing you. Look how Angel is staying here in a pure balanced state, right? Even on one leg, and he's not dropping even one drop from his two cups. He's so masterfully managing them, right? Managing these two cups and this pile of stones. Look, it is not possible to build it without that sense of balance. Everything is representing that balance. And then after all this, we invite more change after Temperance in the major arcana. Let's move it a bit further. We will see that we invite this Devil, we have to meet our addictions, right? And then we go further through the set of cards, and then we see blurry the world through the moon, but then somehow we start seeing the sun, the light, and then we unite with the source. Just let me show you that beautiful, beautiful card, the World. I love this card so much. All right, so I hope this session served you well, and you can use all this knowledge, just share your experience, how you work with the major arcana and how you take charge in your life. So there can be two topics for discussion here. The whole session was mainly about taking charge of your life, and this row, this set of archetypes which I showed you right now is specifically the royal way of this creation. When you go through this, you take the charge of this life, of this cycle of life. Thank you so much, and I'm waiting for your comments. Wishing you a lovely day.